Delta Force Hawk Ops is a game for retards. And that's heartbreaking for me to say because I like a lot about this game. But once you realize the critical flaw in this game, you begin to understand that it's not made for anybody with an IQ above 80. The gameplay you're seeing in this video is not Delta Force Hawk Ops. Because quite honestly, that game fucking disgusts me. If that is the future of online gaming, then I probably just won't play video games anymore. Delta Force Hawk Ops is the equivalent of late stage capitalism, but for video games. It's late stage EOMM. The game at its principal level fucking disgusts me. And I waited to make this video because quite honestly, I was coping. I thought, you know what? It's an alpha. Maybe this is not intended. The developers will address it. Surely they will address this problem, right? No. And they're not going to. And honestly, in my heart of hearts, as soon as I saw what it was, I knew. But I was just in denial. So what's the problem with Delta Force Hawk Ops? Well, it's a 32v32 player versus player game, similar to Battlefield. But it's filled with fucking bots. Now you might be saying, well, that doesn't sound so bad. I like Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's a game that's got large-scale battles that have AI, and the AI serve a purpose, and they add to the immersion of the world, and they make the battles feel larger and more epic. You know, I like Titanfall 2. That's a game where it's PvP, and there's AI grunts, and the grunts are a resource that add to the gameplay, and it's a part of the game mode. No, it's not that at all. These bots in Delta Force Hawk Ops are exactly the same as players. In fact, they are not distinguished separately from players at all. They are named the exact same way a player would be named. And they're not named like Marcus or like Joey or some sort of obvious bot name. No, they're named, you know, Johnny Sins, TTV, L1337, Elite Gamer 2413. The bots in Delta Force Hawk Ops are named in a way to try and trick you into thinking they are real players. They are not labeled AI, and in fact, they go out of their way to make it seem like they're real players. They show up on the scoreboard, they show up in your squad, they have microphone icons, you can mute them, you can view their player profile. They have all of the same things you can do for a real player, but for a bot. When I first got on this game, I'll be honest, I didn't realize they were bots because, again, they are not labeled as bots. And I just thought, wow, people are just bad at this game. This is crazy. And I thought, yeah, I guess it's because it's an alpha. People are still learning. But I was putting up crazy scores, like 60 kills, 4 deaths, just crazy, insane scores. And I thought, like, the bot behavior was just, like, people messing around with their settings. Because, you know, you'd see people, like, standing and then, like, looking up in the sky. Like, just, you know, people are in an alpha having lagging out, performance issues, whatever. But then I started noticing some weird things happening where all of my deaths just seemed, like, odd. Like, I'd be on this massacre and then I'd just get lasered across the map. Just out of nowhere, just completely, like, aimbotted. And then I'd get shot through smoke, just lasered. Or I'd get shot through a tiny crack in the wall, and then the guy that shot me would sort of move around the map in just a bizarre, non-human-like way. And then I just jumped on Reddit, jumped on, you know, Discord, and that's where I learned that this game is full of fucking bots. Full of AI. And when I mean full of AI, I mean more AI than players. Like, legit, your 32v32 game will be 4 players versus 4 other players, and the rest will be bots. It's just insane. Who wants to play a multiplayer game where you don't even know if you're playing against real people or bots? I thought I was getting rage hacked on, but I was literally facing an aimbot, a literal aimbot. And the funniest thing is you can report these bots for aimbotting. And I did. I was reporting the bots for fucking wall hacking and rage hacking. This is the most dystopian video game shit I have ever seen. I cannot believe we have reached levels of EOMM that are so strong that we're just not even facing real players anymore. Now, I know there's going to be some low IQ people in the comments down below defending Delta Force Hawk Ops with some weapons grade copium. So let's go ahead and address that with number 1. It's just an alpha, bro. That's why they have these bots in the games. It's just an alpha. They're still working on the servers. They're getting more players into the alpha test. That's why the servers are filled with bots. Really? Really? Is that really why they developed an entire player naming system that generates fake player names that try to be convincing with TTV and YT at the end of their names? Is that really why they made that whole system to do that? Is that really why they didn't clearly label the AI? These are not hard asks. This is 100% intentional. It's 100% intentional. And they have thousands. They have like 20,000 low IQ people playing Delta Force Hawk Ops right now. Some of these people probably don't even know they probably don't even realize they're in the Matrix right now. But they have plenty of people to fill a 32v32 server. And before you say it's a performance thing, actually, in a lot of cases, it's harder to run AI on the server than a real player. So I don't buy that either. And now to my favorite cope. Just play ranked, bro. There's less bots in ranked. There's less bots in ranked. First of all, I did play ranked. It's the same fucking thing. There are not less bots in ranked. But let's pretend that there are less bots in ranked. What is the problem with that sentence? There's less bots? Why are there any fucking bots in ranked? Why do you want your ranked game, your competitive game, to be artificially persuaded by how many bots are on one team versus another? Oh, that's another thing, by the way. Sometimes your team will just have more bots on it than the other team, so you just fucking lose. Woo! How's that for a fucking ranked system? So why are they putting so many bots in this game? Well, the fact that they're trying to hide the bots and trick you into thinking the bots are real players tells you everything you need to know. And I think most people watching this video already know the reason why the bots are in the game. It's not about gameplay. It's not about immersion. It's not about the game mode. It's 100% about engagement and manipulation. That's all it is. This is an engagement and manipulation tactic. And they're probably getting their playbook from Call of Duty. This is a more powerful version of skill-based matchmaking and engagement optimized matchmaking. In fact, you've heard of late stage capitalism. This is late stage EOMM, because not only can they engagement optimized matchmake you with other players, they can also do it with a dynamic AI scaling difficulty, meaning that if they think you're going to stop playing the game, they throw you into a literal bot lobby where you do really well and you're like, oh, this game is awesome. Or let's say you buy a new skin for your AK. Well, you buy that new skin and they throw you in some bot lobbies where you just dominate. That way you associate, buying the new skin and spending money with doing well in the game and having fun. This is entirely a manipulation and engagement optimized matchmaking tool. That's all this is. That's why they don't want you to know it exists, because when you know it exists, you're completely repulsed and disgusted by it. This fucking disgusts me. If this is the future of gaming, I literally will not play these games. If this is what shooters are going to turn into, I'm done. And I'm somebody that really loves shooters that utilize AI. Titanfall 2, one of my favorite shooters ever, has AI grunts in it. The AI grunts are part of the game mode. They are a scoring mechanism where you want to kill the enemy team's bots and protect your bots. It's part of the game. Same thing with Battlefront 2. The bots add to the game. They're literal droids. It makes perfect sense in that game where they add to the immersion. They make the battles larger. They have a gameplay purpose. But that's clearly not what's happening here. The bots in this instance have no purpose other than to manipulate you. That's why they try to hide them. They don't want you to know that you're being manipulated, because once you realize you're being manipulated, you just get grossed out by it. And you should. And you should not play this fucking game. I'm sorry, you should not play this. If you like this game, you're fucking dumb. I'm sorry. If you are playing this game and having fun being manipulated by these fake fucking players, you're just dumb. And I want to be wrong. I really do. I really want to be wrong about this game. And I would love if they changed it, because there's a lot to like about this game. A lot of the production values behind this game are good. I feel sorry for the people that made a lot of these systems in this game that have very well done, just to have it ruined by this weird engagement decision. I'm just not going to play this game unless they do one of two things. Number one, remove the bots altogether unless it's in a specified game mode. Or number two, label the bots as bots. But we all know they're not going to do that. In fact, they're never going to talk about this. They've done an AMA already where the developers have talked about their plans with the game and a roadmap. They know that we know about the bots. And a lot of people don't like the bots. You think they would have addressed it, right? No, they're not going to. It's all part of the plan. This game is not for us. This game is not for anyone with an IQ above 80. So if you're mad and upset that they're not going to change this, I'm sorry, but the game is just not for you. And it never was. This game is meant to manipulate low IQ people. If you're somebody that looks at a casino and sees people playing the slots and they look like, this is who that game is for. This game is for those people. It's not for us. So it's sad. Yeah, I would have liked to have had another fun shooter play, but this is clearly not it. And I really hope that this game is a complete fucking failure, because if this is the direction of gaming, then we're fucked, because this is awful. This is some dystopian bullshit. And again, I'm not somebody that hates AI being used in games like in shooters. You know, I like Star Wars Battlefront. I like Titanfall 2. In fact, I wouldn't mind the bots in this game if they were used as filler for, you know, real players before, like as a real, you know, if a real player quits, then fill them with an AI bot until another real player joins. You know, I get that there's uses for this kind of stuff, but that's not what's happening here. This is clearly a manipulation tactic, and it's dog shit. Fuck this game, and fuck the person that ruined this game with this. I mean, that's really what happened. This game is ruined because of this. So, I don't know. Fuck them.